Welcome to Herzing University Online. This course is titled Color Theory in Design. The course number is GA201.
The following presentation will cover Week 7 and is titled Real-World Applications. Introduction. As we've learned in Week 6, translating color from one medium to another demands special attention. In order to ensure predictable color results, it is in the interest of every designer to be familiar with the print production process. Since almost all creative work is composed using digital tools, one must become familiar with the issues surrounding color management both on-screen and in printed results. The process of preparing a file to be printed is called prepress and is usually handled by your print vendor at a cost. Designers who frequently create printed collateral can save time and money by becoming familiar with the various aspects of the prepress process. Adobe InDesign was developed to make the process of creating print-ready files easier for designers. Its flexibility and synchronicity with other Adobe products like Photoshop, Illustrator, and Acrobat have helped to create a near seamless workflow from the design stage to the manufacturing process. In this unit, we will explore how color is managed by InDesign to create print-ready files. Part 1. The Digital Drawing Board. Most visual communication takes the form of printed collateral. Brochures, magazines, books, and advertisements are all composed using Adobe InDesign or similar layout programs. Since InDesign is quickly becoming the foremost page layout tool in professional use, we will focus on its merits managing color through a print workflow. The InDesign workspace is fairly simple. Each page is designed individually, and document sizes include additional dimensions like bleed, trim, and safety margins. In fact, InDesign's chief advantage is its ability to create files that transition smoothly into your printer's workflow. InDesign employs several features that help create predictable color as a document moves from digital file through the manufacturing process and ending as ink on paper. The Swatches palette. InDesign's Swatches palette makes converting colors easy. As we've discussed in previous units, color in a digital file is translated as ink as either a mixed formula spot or as a CMYK process conversion. It is very important that each color in a file is designated correctly as one or the other. Too many spot colors can drive up the cost of a printing job significantly. Conversely, some values can't be converted convincingly, making spot colors unavoidable. It is a good idea to discuss your color objectives with your print vendor to ensure a predictable outcome. Swatch libraries or color books. As mentioned in last week's lesson, the Pantone matching system provides formulaic values for thousands of ink recipes. InDesign comes with the most common swatch libraries, called color books, installed, and can be expanded to include additional standardized color systems. In addition to the Pantone colors, InDesign provides complete libraries for the DIC process color, focal tone, HKS color system, which is used in Europe, Toyo Color Finder, which is used in Japan, TrueMatch colors, and Web Library, which includes 216 RGB web-safe colors. Ink limit. One key area to be aware of is that the density of a color within a file will translate to a corresponding density of ink when the job goes to press. If the values of areas of color in a file are higher than the limit specified by the printer, the paper stock will become saturated with ink, creating poor quality results. Ink limit. InDesign's ink limit feature controls the percentage of each color within a file, ensuring that the total density does not exceed the recommended limits of the paper stock. Separations preview. One of the most critical concepts to be familiar with when producing printed pieces is separations. In the commercial printing process, each ink color is applied separately and in a specific sequence. In four-color process printing, four inks, cyan, magenta, yellow, and black, are printed on top of one another to create the appearance of a full-color image. When a file is received by the prepress department, it's run through a software process called RIP, Raster Image Processing. Simply put, the RIP process translates the design file into its component parts, separating it, and then creating a printing plate for each color. Each plate is then installed on the printing press, ink is applied, and then printed on the paper stock. InDesign's separation preview allows the designer to view each color in a job individually, offering a digital preview of what each printing plate will look like on press. InDesign's separation preview allows the designer to view each color in a job individually, offering a digital preview of what each printing plate will look like on press. This allows the designer to make sure there are not too many inks in the job, and that each design element, type, illustrations, photos, etc., will be printed in the correct color. This feature, not currently offered in other page layout programs, can be a huge cost savings advantage to the designer looking to maximize profits and achieve predictable color results. Part 2. Proofing your design. While there are many features in place to help the designer predict the color of the finished piece, nothing replaces an actual printed proof to gauge color. The most accurate and most expensive method is a printer's proof. This involves actually printing a short-run sample of the file in the exact ink and paper to be used in the larger production run. While this is the best way to proof spot colors, it is often too expensive to be a practical option. The second best, and more moderately priced proof is an approval proof. These are high-end digital outputs that print in CMYK pigments. Approval proofs are calibrated specifically to the vendor's equipment, so they are highly reliable when proofing four-color images. One drawback to approval proofs is their inability to proof spot colors. All spot colors are approximated in CMYK. The cheapest method of predicting color is soft proofing. Soft proofing involves calibrating your monitor to display the file's RGB values as CMYK values on screen. This approximates the relative values of printed paper while still on screen. InDesign allows for a file to be viewed with an approximated CMYK color space. The advantage of soft proofing is that a designer can get a rough idea of the vibrancy that will be lost as the file goes from on-screen to the printing press. The downside of soft proofing is that its effectiveness is still very dependent on the calibration of your monitor. Part 3. Pre-flighting and packaging your file. Once you believe your design is finalized, it's time to pre-flight. InDesign's pre-flight feature assesses the file and produces a summary of its fonts, colors, linked images, and color profiles, and creates a report of the results. Conflicts or incompatibilities are flagged so they may be corrected. Once all conflicts have been solved and pre-flighted successfully, the file is then packaged. InDesign's package feature collects all files, fonts, and profiles associated with the project and collects them in a new folder. A summary of the project and a text file of instructions to the printer are also included. Once a file is packaged, it is ready to release to print. Summary. InDesign creates files that correspond smoothly with a commercial printing workflow. There are several features within InDesign that allows a designer to manage color effectively. By creating press-ready files, a designer can minimize pre-press costs and save time. Proofing the color of a file is critical to ensuring predictable results on press. End of week 7.